一问讯，二问讯，三问讯。好。Now, today, Sheila is going to request Dharma. And Sheila, if you would like to 请法, please go ahead. Sheila, 如果你愿意代表大家来请法，那现在就开始了。
恭请大德僧听，为此法会及一切众生，请转妙法轮，教导我们如何了生脱死，离苦得乐，速证无生。Will the Sangha with great virtue, out of compassion, for the sake of this assembly and all living beings, please turn the wonderful Dharma wheel to teach us how to live suffering and attain bliss and end birth and death, and quickly realize non-birth.
Namo tassa bhagavato arahato sama sambuddhassa.
Namo tassa bhagavato arahato sama sambuddhassa.
Homage to the blessed, noble, and perfectly enlightened one.
Homage to the blessed, noble, and perfectly enlightened one.
Namo sadanto suchedoye olahadi samyao samputoshi.
Namo sadanto sujedoye alehadi samyao samputoshi.
无上甚深微妙法，百千万劫难遭遇。我今见闻得受持，愿解如来真实义。Supreme and wondrous Dharma, subtle and profound, rarely is encountered even in billions of eons. But now we see and hear it and accept it reverently. May we truly understand the Buddha's actual meaning. 好的, Sheila, thank you so much for the Dharma request. I will be happy to accept. 好的，感恩Sheila 来代表大家请法。我所谓默诺，不讲话就答应了啊，不讲话的讲话。Okay, there we go. Now, to get started, we need to invoke spiritual presence. 我们要恭请殷请华严海会佛菩萨，还有天龙八部护法神圣莅临道场，祝福各位。Okay, so we're going to continue by inviting the Buddhas and Bodhisattvas of the Avatamsaka assembly to draw near, to bless each of us who is listening, and to make this already auspicious encounter something very wonderful. All right, here we go. my legs back in full lotus. Easier to concentrate this way. 结跏趺坐很容易就定心. Okay. We would like to acknowledge the Pomo people who practice their spiritual connections to the earth and to all creation here in Yokkeo, the deep valley of Ukiah, for tens of thousands of years. Today we acknowledge them as traditional custodians and original storytellers of these lands. We offer our respects to their elders, past, present, and emerging, and to all First Nations people whose sovereignty was never ceded. 我们就恭敬再来，我们恭敬地承认婆摩人是我们寺院所在地的传统叙事和守护人。我们向过去、现在和未来的长者们致敬，并且向所有从来没有放弃主权的第一民族的原住民致敬。Indeed. I'm going to pick up my bell. The bells sound wide, resounds throughout 100 million worlds. The Buddha's law is heard and spread all throughout the triple world. The wondrous sounds that everywhere fill the Dharma realm with peace. May those who hear it gain the strength to follow in faith the Buddha's path. 众生传3000界内，佛法扬万亿国中，共训其法界和平，利益报探诺厚德。Good job, everybody who put all their effort into this lecture. Most grateful for everybody's efforts. 我们感恩各位，你们很发心把你们的时间、你们的注意力、你们的精气神贡献给华严海会佛菩萨，让今天的讲座能实现，能顺利，能圆满啊！感恩。All right, now let's see here. First, a thought. You're looking at the sunset Buddha here at the Gold Coast Dharma Realm. 我们荧幕上就是我们这里这个济南法界的太阳落的时候，照给我们一尊佛像啊，庄严。Today, I would like to say hello, first of all, to everybody, next of all, to everybody who is here. And let's see here. We have Dharma Master Jin Yong as our co-host today. Sheila was from Beijing, was our Dharma requester. And let's see, we have friends listening in from Oroville, Washington. Hi there. Alan is here from Ukiah. Annie is on her iPad. Welcome, Anne. Barbara is here, and Ernie is listening behind Barbara's name, as I am been told. Hi, Ernie. Hey, Barb. Shanghai Binxin is here. Bob is here. You want to get those Black Diamond banjo strings ready. Coming home here soon. Celeste is in Hong Kong. Let's see. Lin Changqing is in Newbury Park. Yi Chonghee is in LA. Welcome. Good. Connie is here with her new cat. You got to get a brush. Your kitty will look really shiny when her fur is all brushed. Cats like, especially medium hairs like her. Cynthia's here from Saratoga. Busy, all the graduations and commencements. I've seen the photos from Wanpo-Chung. Donna is here from San Jose. Hi, Donna. Duc Leban from Montreal. We'll see you soon at Wanpo-Chung. Edwin is here from Kuala Lumpur. Elaine is here, and then Elaine and Justin from Round Rock, Texas. Gwen from Dublin. Hi, Gwen. Let's see here. Chao Dongfang is here from Wenguhua. Okay. We'll be there in a couple months. Guohong is here from Alameda. Guohong. helping translate. Ivy from Taipei. Jan is here from Columbia City, Oregon. Yeah. Super. I bet you have been to, I don't know, white heron? No, white eagle, white salmon, to the Vihara, the Theravada monks in White Salmon. Wonderful monastery there. Jane is here from Ukiah. Jason from NorCal. Hi, Jason. Jin Rocher is with us. Good, Jin Rocher. See you tomorrow for poetry. Karen and Tam are on the road. All right. Hope your trip is auspicious. Katie is here from Union City. Mr. Yip from New Zealand, welcome. Leah from Waterloo, Ontario. Linda from San Francisco. Ling Feng is here from Seattle. I'll respond to your question in a bit. Let's see. Li Inmei from Shandong. Lucy from Saratoga. Hi, Lucy. Okay, and then we switch over to this side of the planet. And we have, let's see here. 中国辽宁陆世生 okay, May Michelle from Vancouver. Oh, let's see here. Minli from Bothell. And Guozhan is there from Alameda. Wanlong from Mesa. Okay, lots. We're still back in the Western Hemisphere. Okay. Ron from San Jose. Hi, Ron. Samantha. Steve Guo. Welcome, Steve. Sylvia from Seattle. And then, let's see here. Terry is here from Ukiah area. Tina from Oklahoma. Tran Nguyen is here. Val from South San Francisco. Hi, Val. Glad you're here. Say hello to your friend. What's his name? You know who I'm talking about. And Viet is here from DRBA. Viet DRBA, that is to say. Zhao Wai Lenin. Huan Ying. Willie from Vancouver. More folks from North America area, from that half of the planet listening in today. That's great. Iwan is here, ready to correct all my mistakes and provide incredible data support and correct data support. 邱福帆，台北邱福帆，欢迎哈。还有于先从北京 ，OK， 云达内蒙古啊。倪家涵 from 上海，欢迎。冯家杭州来的一家人，欢迎。OK， 辽宁、广州、合肥、北京、黑龙江、辽宁let's see here， 这个字拍的太小，老眼睛看不清楚了OK， 辽宁、黑龙江、浙江、沿海，欢迎。OK， good， 陕西宝鸡 ，OK， 安徽宿州。OK， 福建泉州，好的，欢迎湖南，吉林省，OK， good， 黑龙江 ，let's see， no, that's not 黑龙江 ，that is from yes， 鸡西黑龙江 ，got it， OK， 深圳、江苏、北京，还有哪里啊？就是排档小，就江海宁 ，OK， 河北唐山。江苏和呼和浩特都是内蒙古 ，Inner Mongolia, that's a thrill。深圳、哈尔滨、浙江、南京、海南、西雅图美国、黑龙江、辽宁、吉隆坡、马来西亚、辽宁，还有什么地方？广东 ，GCDR，OK， 那我知道那是哪里？那是阿平，阿弥陀佛。还有山东，还有哈尔滨、上海、黑龙江，let's see here， 还有洛阳，哇，中国最古老的文化传统就是那里。And let's see， 罗国庆，台北。Okay, good. That's a lot of fun. 113 of us today listening in， 超过100多人呢，全球的佛教徒就集合在参加我们的法会。讲经法会 All right, I had some thoughts today that I want to share with everybody. On one hand, I'm very aware that the Ten Transferences chapter is long, and there are just lots and lots and lots of examples of how bodhisattvas transfer their merit. It just goes on and on, right? So many shining vows that bodhisattvas at one point made, and you just have the feeling that the Buddhas or it's actually Vajra treasury, Vajra banner bodhisattva. It's his nature connecting to the Buddha that is just overflowing. And the vows keep coming, 10 of these and 10 of these and 110 of these. And it's very inspiring. And in order to do it justice, I need to make progress through the text. I have to go a little faster than I've been going, because sometimes I get 10 vows in, and when I look ahead, oh my goodness, there's so much real estate to cover. Then what happens? It switches to verses, and the verses go on forever and forever. And it's just, on one hand, you could just say, bathe in it. Just take it like incense that perfumes the air around you and inspires you, because this is humanity at its finest. It's most altruistic. It's at its best, goodest. On the other hand, you could say, well, it's just the same from week to week, and not a lot to listen to that's much different. You could say that. What to do as the lecturer? What are my choices? Try to, like, quote, air quotes, spice it up? Nah, that's not the point. The point, this is a point that I made yesterday in my lecture on the Entering the Dharma Realm chapter, that the role of the lecturer, that would be me in this case, but whoever is explaining the Dharma, is to essentially disappear in the process of explaining the sutra, so that the distance between the text and the audience, your ears, shrinks down to a kind of flip where the sutra is explaining itself from inside your mind. Because why? The sutra arose from the Buddhas having done that to perfection, having removed every filter of self from the process of explaining the Dharma. So when the Buddha spoke the Dharma, or invoked Vajra banner to do it for him, he was coming directly from his awakened nature. Now, that sutra has to cross the air, go into our ears, and touch our minds, so we have to understand the language and all. But as much as the lecturer puts himself or herself in between, that's how much they color and filter and diminish that experience of the sutra speaking itself from within. So how to do that? That's the challenge of a skillful or a less skillful or an evolving a lecturer in training, which is what we all are. I need to translate that, so hold on and I'll come right back, because I'm only halfway through what I want to say. 最近在考虑这个讲经这个法会的尤其我们十回商品这一品很长，第一品在华严经比较起来39品或者40品，有60卷，有80卷，有40卷的华严三个版本。我们这里是80卷啊。有的人说那个第39品就是入法界品是最后一品，有的人就把第40品短短的普贤庄严品加到这个39，说是正一体的。有的人就说不要这样子，老实讲，这个39品和第40品是那个第3个版本，那个是学者可以讨论哈，翻译人的翻译部呢，他们那些人可以讲一讲，各有各的不同看法。我们呢，我们就说实地品很长，离世间品很长，入法界品最长。可是呢，排起来了，次第来讲，十回上品就是接下来最长的一品哈。那么是什么？我们现在第7个回向 是菩萨的善愿，他的回向愿，10个比10个，有的时候20个比20个，最近120个比120个，很长很长，讲了我们喜欢学习菩萨行的人，喜欢研究菩萨道的人，我们不怕长短不是问题，每一个愿就是从菩萨的善心，他的觉性而说的，所以呢，我们越听越好像接着这个光明菩萨功德就把我们启发自己的菩提心没问题了。有的人就说：“哎呀，每个礼拜差不多了，一样一样的，这个哎呀，那个都很长。”当然，因为我们人类的最近那个注意力的长短，是不是这么说的 ？Attention span， 我们人类能注意这个时间越来越短，甚至于现在手机我们就 swipe left，swipe，那个手机上等不了 swipe 就看了 swipe 就不能注意了，结果呢？像十回向品那么长的一品，大家就不耐烦，等不了。有什么不同的呢？就是看那个讲经的人，他懂不懂，他会不会把这个两个事情弄得平衡。就说如果讲的太慢，好像我最近把那个多少愿讲的太少，那每个礼拜我们就说，哎呦，那个第7回向那么长，什么时候讲完了？我也看前边还有一段然后长恒讲完了怎么样呢？又变成重诵，又从头开始重诵如果会讲经的人，他懂得他的工作，那他怎么样呢？像一个照相机，那个照相机有个镜头，那个镜头如果磨的光亮他就把那个相机前边的精彩，那个山水或者那个镜头，把它就印到这个相机里边是底片还是那个 sensor， 结果我们看那个相片的时候，哇，看得好像自己就在眼前了，并不是在荧幕上或者一张纸。那镜头成功了，镜头就不见了。镜头完全是一个功用，是它来服务看相片的经验这个过程，听得懂听不懂因为我讲得很慢，就说讲经的人呢，他就像一个镜头一样，相机的一个镜头，他要把自己摩擦的 disappear 隐身了，不见了。所以听众你们各位可以把这个听经的经验，那个长短，那个 distance， 那个远近缩小，甚至于那个经典就从自己的自信流露。佛陀呢，他修行在那做什么？他就把我见我相摩擦修到没有了，看破放下那个假的我相我见，结果呢，佛经那个真理呢，就从他自己觉悟的自信上流露出来，然后他就开口说了我们听到了，或者呢，他就叫这个金刚幢菩萨替他来讲，哇，我们听到佛的释迦牟尼佛的那个觉性、光明、功德，就碰到我们的耳朵，哇，我们就哎呀，那个真理跟我恰到好处了，相应了 感应道教了，这样子。所以讲经的人呢，一方面他必须要有次第讲下去，如法去做，从第6到第7，从第7到第8，从第8到等等，一直讲完。不过呢，讲了太死板，大家也到不了，所以不容易哈，不容易把这个佛经讲活起来。So there we go. Thank you for listening here and for being patient. You have to keep shifting your brain. Me too. Maybe that will delay Alzheimer's or dementia by learning multiple languages and shifting gears. So the job of the lecturer is to keep that balance in line, which is to say, you want to make progress, you want to respect the sutra and go sequentially from 6 to 7, 7 to 8, 8 to 9, etc. But at the same time, if you go too slowly and don't change, people's attention span, even good-hearted Buddhist disciples will go, sure sounds a lot alike. Yeah, maybe I had a lot of stuff to do before I sat down to listen to this. And we'll just lose interest. So, got to somehow keep it rolling and keep it interesting, both. All right? 讲完了. Stop me before I lecture again. Ayo. Here we go. Bring it up, please. Right there. There it is. Here's where we stopped last week. We're going to do just this paragraph. Ready? 好的，请各位合掌。佛子菩萨摩诃萨如是回向时，不着业，不着报，不着身，不着物，不着刹，不着方，不着众生，不着无众生，不着一切法，不着无一切法。Disciples of the Buddha, when bodhisattvas, mahasattvas make dedications in this way, they free themselves of attachment to karma, attachment to karmic consequences, attachment to the body, attachment to objects, attachment to kshetras, attachment to directions, attachment to living beings, attachment to the absence of living beings, attachment to phenomena, and attachment to the absence of phenomena. Oh man, anybody study logic or rhetoric in high school or college? Any logicians or rhetoricians on board today? This is very satisfying if you are into formal logic, because it just progressively wipes everything out. Subject and object get wiped away. And it says the bodhisattva doesn't, when she dedicates merit, okay, let's put it back in the mind of the person doing the transferring. You send it out. You just send it out. I'm going to send out my merit to all living beings. I'm not attached to the deed that I'm doing. I'm not attached to anything that happens from it. I don't care about the bodies who are receiving it or whether it's just an empty space. I'm not attached to any physical, tangible result. I'm not attached to thinking about planets. Where does my dedication stop? Does it just keep rolling out there past Pluto, which is not a planet, unless it is? Yeah, I don't care if it's going out north, south, east, west, above and below. It just goes out. I don't care if living beings get it. I hope they do. I don't care if they don't. Attachment to no living beings, because why? I'm still going to transfer even if I know there are no living beings. It's what I do. I'm not attached to dharmas, doing it right, doing it wrong, or no dharmas, doing it right, doing it wrong. I'm going to keep dedicating merit. Ah. Right? Now that is what? Freedom. Richie Havens. Freedom, 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 freedom. Any baby boomers here or ex-hippies will get my reference. All right. All right. What are you saying? Ex-hippies. Okay, never mind. So, 菩萨回向的时候，他就不执着业。他回向，我们怎么样了解这段呢？就说我们就跟菩萨在我们的心里边发那个回向愿， 发那么多，我们刚刚看完了，哇，很多发那么多回向愿的时候，那个音波往外发，他就说没有关系了，我做不做一样了啊，那个有好处没有好处一样了啊，有没有众生的身体受到没有关系了，不照那个。我回向的音波是不是那个思波那个 consciousness 失身那个失心的这个摆动是光明是什么？没有关系了，碰到东西不碰到东西，我一样了，不照差。我会想到哪个国家、哪个地球，还是阴星，还是水星，还是木星，还是土星，没有关系了海王星不照方向，我东西南北这个四维上下了，我一样会想了。众生碰到我的音波不碰到呢，没有关系了。没有众生，我一样会想了。不照一切法，我做的对不对没有关系了，我一样要回向。不照无一切法，如果有人就说那你是浪费时间，好的，我很欢喜浪费时间回向功德，一样的。OK， 那我明白。OK, I got it. I know why he's doing it, why she's doing it. Doesn't matter. I am going to give away my merit and virtue all the same. That's the idea. Okay? That makes sense. 佛子菩萨摩诃萨如是回向时，以此善根普施世间，愿一切众生充满佛智，得清净心，智慧明了，内心寂静，外缘不动，增长成就三世佛种。Okay, disciples of the Buddha, when bodhisattvas, mahasattvas make dedications in this way, they give their good roots to all worlds, wishing that all living beings realize and perfect the Buddha's wisdom, that they attain a pure mind and radiant wisdom, that their minds are tranquil and cannot be moved by external conditions, and that they augment and realize the predisposition for Buddhahood in all three periods of time. How about that? That's really skillful translation, isn't it? The Chinese says, look, increase and accomplish three worlds Buddha seed. Buddha seed. Seed like corn, like potatoes, like tomato seeds. Okay, translated, they augment and realize the predisposition for Buddhahood in all three periods of time, past, present, and future. It's like, man, if that was legal contractual language, bulletproof. That's heavy duty lawyer talk. Yeah, go for it. Works. Better than saying Buddha seeds. People go, Buddha seeds are the three periods of time. That sounds like jargon. Disciples of the Buddha, when bodhisattvas transfer in this way, they give their good roots to all worlds. And all of this, all of these logical, mutually canceling out each other, fine. No worries. That's good. I'm just going to transfer the merit anyway because I'm in the habit of it and because it makes me happy to do so. I don't care if anybody gets it or if nobody gets it or if they all get it. I'm going to do it anyway because why? I'm on my way to Buddhahood. I have made a Bodhi resolve to get there when all living beings are crossed over. So this is the path. I believe it, I've done it, and I feel good about it. Guilty as charged. Innocent? You bet. Doing it anyway. He says, may all beings realize and perfect the Buddha's wisdom. They get a pure mind and radiant wisdom. Their minds are tranquil, nothing bothers them, and they keep those Buddha seeds planted in the past, present, and future, augmented and realized. 这样子菩萨就说，上边那些逻辑有黑有白，有成有败，有好有坏，这些相对法没有关系了，互相熄灭，归于无了，没有关系，我一样会想。为什么呢？我发过菩提心，我知道要将来一定要圆满我的 佛智慧。怎么做呢？度众生，这是我绝对相信。所以呢，度众生法是回向，跟他们结善法缘。所以呢，我无论如何要这样做，是不是？他说我回向的时候，我把这个善根普世世间所有众生，我愿一切众生充满佛智，得清净心，智慧明了，内心清净，外缘不动，增长成就三世佛种。OK， 他就说我应该说我欢喜这样做，所以没有关系了。Okay, I had an experience like this when we returned, myself and Bhikshu Heng Sure, Martin, Professor Verhoeven, got back to Gold Mountain Monastery in 1978, preparing to travel to Asia with Shifu on his first Asian delegation, 1978. And Shifu saw us at Gold Mountain and said, "How's it going?" And we said, "Shifu, lots of people are just trying hard to get us to quit. They laugh at us when they see us on the road." And Shifu said, "Oh, okay." He said, "All right, I will be you, and you can come and pretend to show me what they do, and I'll give you my answer." So, so Shifu said, "Okay, I'm bowing. Get up from there. What are you doing? You're wasting your time. You think Jesus is happy with you because you're crawling in the gutter? You can be saved by grace alone. This is a waste of time." So we gave Shifu a sample of what people were saying. And Shifu looked up and said, I do this because I like it, he said. Done. Goes back and bows. That was his answer in English, and it left us kind of going, okay, there you go. That's pretty much all there is to say. I do it because I like it. The Bodhisattva transfers merit. Why? Because he likes it. He doesn't need success. He doesn't need praise. He doesn't need, salary or any kind of reward. He does it because he likes it. 就说1978年，我朝拜万佛场三步一拜的时候，回来金山寺，跟恒潮法师一起，我们两个看到师父，我们准备到亚洲去参加师父第一届主办的亚洲区访问团。商人说怎么样呢？你们呢？师父，每天都有人来给我们很多折磨，要我们给我们很多理由，为什么要停止这个三步一拜，不要继续拜？商人说，那你怎么说呢？我不讲话，就是他 Marty， 他用种种的方法了，不一定见效了。商人就说，好了，那我就好像是你们在那拜，你们可以好像是这些给你麻烦这些人呢，那他们怎么说呢？我们就 OK， 好，那我就代表他们了。他们就说，那你为什么这样做，浪费时间？你自己不觉得没有脸这样做这么邋遢？你认为耶稣看你这样做欢喜吗？你知道耶稣看你这样做就是一些邋遢的这个东西废物呢，人家不要的，这样做呢没有用了，浪费时间。然后商人就抬起头来，满脸大笑。他说：“好啊，你的看法，谢谢。我为什么这样做呢？因为我欢喜这样做。”就笑了。然后我们就哑口无言了。还有什么可对的？简单了，解决问题了。OK， 那菩萨他这样子，他说：“你告诉我这个回向有什么好处啊？我不管， 有没有什么薪水给我？不要了，不用了。你会不会赞叹我说是大菩萨？也不用了，我不听你这个。我就喜欢度众生。好了，够了。All right。佛子菩萨摩诃萨修行如是回向之时，超出一切无能过者，一切世间所有言辞，细功称赞，亦不可尽。普修一切菩萨诸行，悉能忘逸一切佛度，普见诸佛无所障碍。Disciples of the Buddha, when bodhisattvas, mahasattvas, cultivate dedications in this way, they transcend all. Nothing surpasses them. The words and language of all the worlds, all together, cannot sufficiently praise them. They cultivate all bodhisattva practices. They can travel to all Buddha lands and behold all Buddhas without obstruction. Disciples of the Buddha, bodhisattvas cultivate dedications in this way. This very much sounds like a summation, doesn't it? It's kind of a conclusion after 110 vows, and then last week we had those very simple, very elegant, not complex dedications, and now it's like taking a long look, conclusion. When bodhisattvas, mahasattvas cultivate dedications in this way, they transcend all. Nothing surpasses them. The words and languages of all the worlds, all together, cannot sufficiently praise them. They cultivate all bodhisattva practices. They can travel to all Buddha lands and behold all Buddhas without obstruction. Okay, nothing surpasses them. So let's make it human. What it's saying is, when you use your mind in this way, you fill it with light. There's no room for any kind of doubts, fears, worries. It's just you use every bit of your consciousness for good, for goodness. You feel positive. There's no negativity. There's no kind of cynicism. There's no sarcasm. There's no room for any sense of gloom and doom, right? They cultivate bodhisattva practices because you need to multitask in our school of Buddhism. They travel to all Buddha lands and behold all Buddhas without obstruction. Okay, this is kind of bodhisattva magic at this point. This is how they keep their own bodhi resolve going, because they're constantly in the presence of the Buddhas, listening to the Buddha speak the Dharma. And that's inspiring. 菩萨这样做的时候，他们回向功德的时候，超出一切无能过者，就是说，心里我们这样回向的时候，就心里这样布施，就有光明，一点的，就是丝毫的这个犹豫没有了。那个如果心里怀着这个犹豫的念头了，那就说没有那么多光明可以回向，所以呢，那就是相反的作用。我不做了，我就100%完全在这回向功德。结果呢，心里光明在黑暗跑了，没有一点的犹豫，没有着急的心，没有这种消极的心，完全积极，所以就说超出一切。你说用世间的言辞来赞叹呢？不用了，他们不要听了，他们就说，哎，那个如果我听你那个呢，我就 只有一个我见我相，那执着了很容易了，所以那就是减少我能回向功德的力量。所以呢，不听你那个你不必了。是真的不用说了，是假的，那你说的也不是真的，所以呢，不用了。他们修行所有的菩萨行，为什么？因为我们的汉传佛教，我们这宗派这种的佛法呢，需要多种的行门等一下我解释。然后呢，他们就说他们悉能往诣一切佛度，普见诸佛无所障碍。这种的，那个是一般就说我们想象不到的，怎么会有这么菩萨能常常在佛前，常常去这个佛讲经的这个法会里边，亲眼看到佛陀参加这个影响众等等，怎么会普见诸佛呢？那是因为三身我们修行的时候到某程度呢，这个法身报身化身都一起发生作用了。这是菩萨的这个化身它的因身的功用。So someone could say again, this part I don't get. How do they travel the Buddha lands and see the Buddhas without obstruction? When we reach a certain amount of samadhi, compassion, and vows, these what's called the three bodies start to function. The Dharma body arises with the last bit of the self gone. And there's no self to measure the world around you. The world around you and you are one. If the self is there, there's multiple. There's me in today's mood and then tomorrow's mood, and right? When that self has been cultivated away, then everything flips, and the Buddha nature's completeness is alive. That's the Dharma body. You and the world around are one. Furthermore, you have this magnificent reward body that looks like people see it. Even Ananda, who was apparently a very handsome individual, saw the Buddha in his reward body and said, I want to look like that. That's you never have a bad hair day when you've got your reward body functioning. Right? You never spend any more money on cosmetics. Right? And then there's this magical thing called the transformed bodies, the Hua Shen response bodies, they're called. And that is inconceivable for science and physics to describe, but it is part of the sutras. And those of us who got to know Master Hua, got to know Shifu, when he was lecturing on the Dharma seat, Shifu was doing stuff. And what was he doing? No idea, but he was doing stuff, sending out his, who knows? People would report that Shifu would appear in their dreams or at the foot of their bed or just at the instant before the car hit the wall, and magical things would happen. So, yeah, who knows? Who knows? But this is part of the sutra, and they can do that. And when they do that, they get so inspired. Yeah. 好的. Now, at this point, take a look here. We get a listing of all of the incredible things that bodhisattvas can do. This is coming up here. Now, having said what I said about trying to balance progress through the sutra and going into in-depth, which can be more interesting, but kind of slows down our progress. I think with that in mind, I'm going to continue here to get through the rest of page 51 and on down to these two paragraphs. So if you all got right about a time. Okay. Let's do it. Let's see I'll give you the pointer, the orientation here. We've finished a long list of seventh transference bodhisattva's vows, the actual vows themselves, how they dedicate their merit. And now is a results section. This is the section of the seventh transference, which is different from the sixth transference and the fifth and the fourth. So each of these 10 transferences has a section that kind of brings the focus out of above the water, looking at the ocean. Where are we in terms of progress towards Buddhahood? Okay. 这个刚刚研究完了，刚刚讲完了第七回向菩萨的他各个的回向愿很多。现在呢，就是要总括起来。现在这个第七回向，我们知道菩萨现在到这个地步呢，跟第六回向、第五回向、第四回向有什么不同？这是他的成就在这个第七回向这里，所以我们还是继续讲下去。OK， 好 ，Let's do this. Let's find out what is possible now in the seventh transference that is different from the others. 我们现在要知道，菩萨在第七回向有什么成就，跟其他的回向不一样。又能普见一切世界菩萨所行，以善方便为诸众生，分别诸法，深深具意，得陀罗尼，演说妙法，尽未来劫，无有断绝。为众生故，念念与不可说不可说世界，犹如影像，普现其身，供养诸佛。念念眼镜不可说不可说诸佛国度，悉令周遍修行，眼镜佛刹智慧，而无言足。念念令不可说不可说百千亿哪有他众生，清净成就，平等满足。于彼一切诸国度中，亲修一切诸波罗蜜，摄取众生，成就净业，得无碍而与不可说不可说诸佛世界一一如来所转法轮，听闻受持，清净修行，精勤修习，不生一念舍利之心。最后，诸无所得，无意志，无作，无找，菩萨神通，欲一刹那一贪之情，分身普益，不可说诸佛世界，与诸菩萨等同一见。Okay, amazing, amazing accomplishments. Furthermore, they perceive what all bodhisattvas cultivate throughout all worlds. For the sake of living beings, they expound the profound meanings of all dharmas using skillful means. They attain dharani, ceaselessly proclaiming the wonderful dharma to the end of future eons. For the sake of living beings in each and every thought, they manifest bodies like reflected images everywhere, throughout ineffably ineffable many worlds, making offerings to all Buddhas. In each and every thought, they adorn and purify each and every one of the ineffably ineffable many Buddha lands, cultivating wisdom to adorn and purify these Buddhist kshetras without ever growing weary. In each and every thought, they lead ineffably ineffable hundreds of thousands of kotis of nayutas of living beings to purity, accomplishment, equality, and contentment. And each and every one of these lands, they diligently cultivate all paramitas and gather in living beings, thereby bringing their pure karma to perfection. Okay, 2 more paragraphs. Here we go. They attain the unobstructed ear and turn the Dharma wheel in the presence of each and every Tathagata in ineffably ineffable many Buddha worlds, wherein they hear, uphold, and diligently cultivate the teachings without a single thought of abandoning them. They abide in Bodhisattva's spiritual powers, which are free of attainment, clinging, action, and attachment. In a kshana or a finger snap, their transformation bodies travel throughout ineffably many Buddha worlds, sharing with the bodhisattvas in those worlds the same views. Alrighty. I'm going to step down for 10 seconds and go around the corner, that's 30 seconds, and grab something to drink. Don't go away. Alrighty, thank you. So, judging by the the attainments that we've just run through, definitely we know we're on the seventh transference. We're on a, this is graduate school for bodhisattvas. This is a high level bodhisattva attainment. Number 7 out of 10 is a turning point, always. This is between the 7th and the 8th stage is where irreversibility happens. Avaivartika, no further retreat, non-retreating. Patience when dharmas no longer arise happens between the 7th and 8th in the 10 stages chapter. This bodhisattva is not there, but it's a similar, in the process of the 10 transferences, a similar milestone happens. So they see what bodhisattvas cultivate throughout all worlds, okay? And they expound profound meanings using skillful means so that we can pick up things we didn't understand before. Key here, they get dharani. Now that happened in the 8th and 9th practice. I think the 9th practice of the 10 practices, which precedes this. This is earlier in the bodhisattva's career. They get dharani's function, and it allows them to speak Dharma in truly marvelous, inconceivable ways. So here is number 7. So it happens earlier, okay? They make, in every thought, now from here on, these all say, nian nian zhong, nian nian, nian nian, in thought after thought. So it doesn't do to think of it linearly at this point. We kind of have to think of it holistically in the sense of like a sphere. If you can imagine being inside a glass pearl, transparent pearl, so that every action, every thought from the mind radiates 360 at once. Dharani works that way, proclaiming the wonderful Dharma to the end of future eons. And you go, wow, that's quite wonderful. In each and every thought, they can make those transformed bodies appear like a reflected image everywhere, throughout, ineffably ineffable. Okay, what? It's bukashuo is the Chinese here. This is a number. That's an actual number. It's like hundreds, thousands, millions, billions, numbers that have names. If you say a million, you kind of can visualize the zeros. 1, 0, 0, 0, comma 0, 0, 0, 6 zeros. Bukashuo is one of those. It's an actual number. That's how many worlds in thought after thought bodhisattvas, pu xian qi shen, can make their bodies appear to, and the bodies are functioning, they're making offerings to the Buddhas interesting here, 犹如影像. It gives us a clue of what those bodies are like a reflection. How do they get translated? Reflected images. What's a reflection? A reflection is not the thing itself, it's that thing itself's image appearing on a surface. That's how transformed bodies appear. Kind of, it's a teaser, isn't it? Because it gives you a sense of, I know what a reflection is. It's not the real thing, but it reflects perfectly, like an image in a mirror, or like the moon in water. And here, what's amazing is that reflected image is functioning, making offerings to the Buddha. Is that how it works? Now, it doesn't help you any further. It doesn't advance your understanding of it, but it gives you something. It does. It advances your understanding, but it's like, still it's inconceivable. 不可思议. How does that work? So cool, right? All right, I got to translate. So, 他们普见一切世界菩萨所行，以善方便为诸众生，分别诸法生生具义。他们现在我们知道第七回向相当高的成就，这不是初学的菩萨的成就，这是已经是研究生，已经是博士后的这个阶级。他们为众生用很多言辞讲法，他们得陀罗尼，这是第七回向得到陀罗尼。在十横品呢是第九横才得到陀罗尼，所以现在这个成就，这个能力快一点。演说妙法，尽未来界无有断绝。他们得到陀罗尼之后，就口入宣和继续那个还吵，什么时候停不停？他们讲法的说妙法，什么时候停不停？也有陀罗尼的功用。然后呢，其他的呢就是念念中与念念中不可说不可说，这个呢与念念中不可说不可说世界，犹如影像普现起身。我们不是说这个化身的功用呢？对了，可是这里有一个我们可以再进一步了解，犹如影像。如果有一面镜子，然后那个镜子里边看到你的身体做什么呢？不是你的身体就看起来一模一样的身体，不是镜子，身体在镜子外边，可是那个影子就实现了。这样子是不是化身的功用？你看这个化身做什么呢？它有功用，它有它有怎么说呢？它就有一种行为，就是供养诸佛，它的那个影像非真实的身体在那儿做事情了，供养诸佛。奇妙啊！我们看到这个如果有水池子满月，那个月满的时候15，农历15，空中有一面月亮，这个月亮看到那个水池子里边，就很圆满，一模一样的，不是月亮，是月亮的影子菩萨现在有这种功能，到了第七回向的时候，他会普现起身，多少不怕了，犹如影像，供养诸佛。那个不可说不可说世界里边的情形呢，不可说不可说是一个数目字我们都说100知道有2个零子，1000 3个零子，10000 4个，是不是？ 10000、1100是数目的一个代表，不可说不可说是数目的代表，实在有零字呢，多少呢？你就问金庸师，金庸师知道了，我不知道，他已经就说研究这个在华严经里边的这个不可说是不是不可说品 The Ineffable Chapter 就说讲清楚这些数目字的名字优婆塞就说乌帕尼沙托是最多了，然后不可说不可说也是其中一个。Okay, now in order to, I'm going to stop at this place right here, and to do so, here we go. Highlight. What should we do? Put blue? Blue. There we go. Okay. We will continue here next week. 我们下个礼拜在这个地方继续讲。Now, something I wanted to share. It occurred to me that people often don't feel confident. I think we got an answer here. How many? The Asamkhya, yeah, 对了，阿僧祇品 The Asamkhya chapter, 对了，不是不可说品，是阿僧祇 Asamkhya。好了 people often don't have confidence when they're asked about their kind of Buddhism, their faith, their religion. As we used to say in theology school, your faith horizon means what do you believe in? It's hard sometimes in the Mahayana to say it clearly because there's so much. It's so big. I've been in other Buddhist groups, Bhante Mahinda, for example, here in Australia, in Malaysia, he teaches loving kindness, metta. And he definitely is a Buddhist, absolutely. But people can say what it is, what kind of Buddhism they study, because it's metta, loving kindness. And they really do it. They really practice. They take one Dharma and go deeply into it. The late monk Jing Kong, he used to say, rightly or wrongly, he used to say, Pure Land, just recite the Buddha's name. That's all you need to do. Everything else is a waste of time. Wrongly, to my mind, you shouldn't say that. But that's just not true. There are 84,000 practices. So it's understandable when people come to us, let's just say disciples of Master Hsuan Hua, we say, oh, we are Chinese Mahayana. We are Han Chuan, the Chinese tradition. In Vietnam, it's the Vietnamese version of the Chinese tradition. In Korea, it's the Korean version of the Chinese tradition. In Japan, it has its own Japanese Mahayana. Tibet has its own version. But what is it? Well, it's multitasking. The Bodhisattva path has to apply, we have to apply ourselves on many different levels at once. And there's very much the experience of having to use all of Guanyin Bodhisattva's hands. For example, we say, what did your teacher teach you? Well, he said, 学佛做人，人道尽，佛道成. We have to learn about the Buddha and apply those lessons in our humanity. 学佛, we learn from the Buddha how to be better people. When our humanity is perfected, that is Buddhahood. The Buddha is a perfected person. So in other words, that is what they call 入世. That's very worldly applied approach to being a Chinese tradition Buddhist. That's true. So what do you study there? Virtue. Being a better person. You want to, Shifu would always say, 多做善功的. You want to really, really do better, do more meritorious deeds. Be more virtuous. So it is the study, Shifu would say, we are learning Ren Qiao, the teaching of humanity. That's true. That's true. So is that all we do? No, not actually, no. Why? Because 要发大菩提心. You want to make the great Bodhi resolve. That's the most important thing. So, well, but how do I do that? And I still have to go to work. I still have to raise kids. I still have to keep a roof over my head. I still have to vote, take part in society, in the public square. What is this Bodhi resolve? The Bodhi resolve says, make your vows. Look ahead. Fix your ultimate destination. Where are you going? What is the compass in your life? Where is the anchor for life? And if we understand the Avatamsaka Sutra, which is what we're studying, we say, well, that would be accomplishing my highest potential for wisdom and compassion. All right, good for you. I've heard that before. That's the Bodhi resolve. Yeah, I want to become a Buddha in the future. I know I can. I have that potential. It's just a question of applying myself. That's the first half of the Bodhi resolve. The second half of the Bodhi resolve says, the way I do that is I iron out all of the wrinkles in my Buddha nature. I du zhongsheng, take living beings across. Okay, well, what does that mean? That means I chase away all of the ignorance. It means I teach, and we say transform all of the afflictions, all the blues, all the miseries. I find a way to take them across. My goodness, what you're saying sounds familiar but fresh at the same time. What is decode the Dharma? A lot of what Shifu did, 90 minutes every single night, twice on Saturday, twice on Sunday, was showing us, giving us permission to decode the Dharma. What do we call it? Translating sutras. But that's not decoding the Dharma, is it? Yes, it is. Because why? Often the sutras come to us in code language. The Chinese Mahayana, our school, has this genius ability to take mountains of human experience in the path of cultivation and crystallize it into 4 characters. Bring it right down into a 4-character idiom. Something like, 苦海无边回头是岸. There you go. The sea of suffering is ocean wide, but a turn of the head is the other side. That's former Bhikshuni Heng Yin, Lonnie Bauer's song lyric. The sea of sufferings deep and wide, a turn of the head is the other side. Great is the joy, great is the joy, great is the joy in my heart, right? So what does that mean? The sea of suffering is deep and wide, a turn of the head is the other side. That's a 4-character code phrase, 苦海无边回头是岸. Shifu gave it to us the way his teachers gave it to him, the way their teachers gave it to those teachers. In the Chinese Mahayana, we've got this genius for taking profound experience in the path of cultivation, wisdom, and making it a jewel, making it a diamond, so it can transmit easily, memorably to our ears, and so we can hear it and apply it to ourselves. However, the code is not the experience. That's the key to making sense of this. The code is crystallized just like what? Anybody who has ever drunk Chinese tea, Japanese tea, or Sri Lankan tea knows that it comes to us in individual little tea leaves, which are processed down, loose leaf tea. If you take those tea leaves and you put them in cold water, they fall to the bottom of the cup and nothing happens. They don't change. You try to drink it, it's no flavor at all. It's not tea. If you take those very same tea leaves and put them into boiling water, into hot water, they open up and the water changes color and this fragrance comes out and you drink it and you clarify your mind. You have the experience of drinking tea. When we put these 4-character idioms, the code language of the Mahayana, into the experience of cultivation, translating, working with it, talking about it, learning about it, applying it to our nature to take living beings across, that second half of the Bodhi resolve, now it becomes the path ahead, the path that gives my life some meaning, that makes sense of the Buddha's teaching, and suddenly connects in our time, in our space, here in the 21st century, as a way to go forward in the Dharma. Oh, suddenly my school, Mahayana, wow, that's alive. So yes, we are 学佛做人，人道见，佛道成, learning how to 入世, apply what we learned from the Buddha in our humanity to become better people. We are indeed making the Bodhi resolve, getting our compass bearing, but at the same time, we're also learning how to teach and transform living beings with the decoding of the Dharma. That, I believe, is Shifu's insistence on speaking the Dharma every night. I think that's what he had in mind, so that we could add the hot water of cultivation, the boiling water, to the jewels, the tea leaves, mixing metaphors left and right, the jewels of the Buddha Dharma, so that they open up and become part of our lives. We turn the decoded Dharma into tea that we can drink, and it gives our life meaning and purpose, and it gets us out of bed every day to keep going and make the Buddha Dharma connect to our community and save the world, as Shifu would say. If you understand the Dharma, you can save the world. 我们汉传佛教哈，有的人就说，哎呀，这么广大啊，就说亡仰心叹，佛法这么广大，不知道我信的教是什么教呢？太广大了，有的人这么说。我觉得不应该这么说的。我们很多我们就说，那我们就修什么呢？你信什么？你信什么教？很多方面，像观音菩萨1000个手、1000个眼睛、1000个耳朵，必须要多方面 multitask， 每一只手都要用了。怎么讲呢？就说好像那个学佛做人，人道尽，佛道成，这是上人劝我们一定要多做善功德啊，着重福田了啊。那么那就是入世的法。对了，自己栽培自己的善功德啊，切记不要错因果，一定要相信，这样子就说人道尽。佛是一个圆满的人，所以呢，注意人，那是一方面一定要做。不过呢，你还有另外一只手是什么？要发大菩提心。发大菩提心怎么讲呢？就说上乘佛道，下化众生。上乘佛道呢，不是说上边有佛道 众生在下边，不是，就是说我的生平，我这一生有方向，有目标，有宗旨，要成佛啊。需要多少时间的没关系了，我一定要成佛，这是我究竟的目的上，就是说最圆满的一个宗旨目标。怎么做呢？下化众生就是说我当下开始用种种的方法降伏其心，种种的方法照破无明，种种的方法化作烦恼，教化净化人心，我自己的烦恼把它化过来。怎么做呢？多听经明白佛法听经呢，很多好像是在一种密码里边了，好像不太明白法师明白，我不明白了。不是说法师明白你不明白，就是说有个过程我们为什么师父每天讲经说法，星期六星期天讲2次，90分钟，每天，他好像我认为师父的意思是一定要我们翻译佛经里边的密码。密码等于什么呢？我们喝中国茶，一页一页的，小小的，一页一页，好像高山茶、大红袍龙井或者呢大家喜欢的什么茶叶红茶黑茶，一页一页的。你如果把那个一点点那个高山茶放在乌龙茶，放在一杯凉水，怎么样呢？没有了，不好喝，这么就掉到那个茶杯的下边就不变了。可是呢，一样那个茶叶放在烫水、泡水、滚水，哇，颜色出来了，香味出来了，你喝了就提醒的作用，哇，就是中国茶。佛法很多四字成语就等于那个茶叶一样了你如果不修行的话，你不把它研究，你不放在口里，放在眼里，放在心里，就等于凉水、冷水跟茶叶一样的，什么都没有了。文字般若，你会讲一点都不懂。不过呢，你把一样的道理，把它研究，把它勤修戒定慧，熄灭沉沉痴了，哇！现在我听得懂，就 Decode the Dharma， 佛法里边的密码又变成我的道路，我为人的一个宗旨，我成佛的道路我人生的目标就是佛法，需要用开水、滚水，就是修行就可以了。那个时候，哇，汉传佛教，越南式、韩国式、日本式、藏传式，就是汉传佛教的，那变成我们就是这一个大的一个宗教那我的人生就有意义的。我知道为什么每天下床开始修行OK, all right.今天没有玄奘大师的这个故事，我们下个礼拜继续。We didn't get any stories of Master Xuanzang because of what I wanted to share, but yes, next Sunday we'll be traveling, so we will rerun. Next week I'm going to be coming back to California, so next week we will play Master Empty Clouds, being saved by Manjushri Bodhisattva. 下个礼拜呢，因为我是离开澳大利亚回去加州，所以我们把这个虚云老和尚的画传，就是文殊师利菩萨救虚云老和尚那一段我们继续研究。Okay, so I will see you in 2 weeks to continue our investigation of the 10 Transferences. 我2个礼拜后 再来跟大家继续研究十回向品。Okay, here we go. Okay, please make your own bodhisattva transference. Here we go. May every living being, our minds as one and radiant with light, share the fruits of peace with hearts of goodness, luminous and bright. If people hear and see how hands and hearts can find in giving unity, may our minds awake to great compassion, wisdom, and to joy. May kindness find reward, may all who sorrow leave their grief and pain. May this boundless light dispel the darkness of our endless night. Because our hearts are one, this world of pain turns into paradise. May all become compassionate and wise. May all become compassionate and wise. May all become compassionate and wise. And before we're done, we will bow to our teacher. And please join me. And, oh, here we go. First of all, we will bow to the Buddhas. Here we go. Bow in respect to the Venerable Master. That will do it for us for today. That's the way to see you all in 2 weeks. Amitofo. Bye, everybody.